Hello, welcome to the first live of 2024. Here we are every week, and last year I set the intention to do a weekly live every single week, and there are many different topics that I covered, and I can see right from the very first one to the last one at the end of the year how much I became a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera. I mean, this is something I've done for many years, though doing YouTube lives is always can be a little bit of an experience as well. And it's just really interesting, like seeing what's happened over the course of last year. And here I am again, back, and I will continue as well, bring many more topics. And this is your place where you can ask questions, where you can connect with me, where you can share your thoughts in the comments section. This is a weekly class to talk everything all about emotions, about anxiety, about coming back to that calm center within that we all have within, though often we're so focused on distractions and what's going on out there that we get caught up in that and we forget that calm center within. So those of you who don't know, I've been working in this field for 11 years. Can you believe it? I can't. 11 years. And I started off with NLP. And well, there were actually a few other things before NLP, but NLP was the main thing that I trained in extensively. And yes, what a journey. I started with NLP because I was experiencing weekly panic attacks. Those of you who have listened to my podcast would have heard my story. And this is something that just really helped me. That also with acupuncture and also with cutting out caffeine. So this is something that helped me let go of weekly panic attacks. And I've been supporting individuals ever since because I know what it's like. I've been through that. I know what anxiety is like. I know what panic attacks are like. I know what it's like to experience that every single week, and it's not fun. And there's a lot of people that have been going through similar situations and similar experiences, and especially the last 3 to 4 years there's been a huge increase in that, like people feeling completely overwhelmed, anxious, lacking in self-confidence, a lot of different symptoms coming up. And yeah, so this is my little way of helping out in the best way that I know how, and through NLP, through numerology, through creative arts, and through movement, all of those things combined together. This is something that can really help us come back to that calm center within. So to start off the year, I wanted to talk about something that perhaps is a little different to what many people are talking about this time of year. Obviously, January is the time where a lot of people set New Year's resolutions and they perhaps set intentions. If you have any for this year, just let me know in the comment section. I'd love to hear what your intentions are. Perhaps you have a word for the year, what you're going to focus on. And sometimes there can be a lot of pressure, that first beginning of the year and thinking, oh, okay, I need to make changes. I need to do this. I need to do that. And wanting to create new habits. And people start off with great intentions, like wanting to perhaps meditate more or exercise more, or perhaps seek support, find a therapist, or perhaps let go of some unhealthy habits, whatever it is. Some people do dry January. They quit alcohol for a month. And there are many different things that people do. So whatever it is that you're doing, just get curious about what's behind that and what you're aiming to get out of that. Because this is the thing, when we have habits of behavior and when there's certain goals that we want to set, we have a desired outcome that we want to experience, there's always something underneath that. There's some driving force underneath that. And when we're not clear on that driving force, what's actually fueling that behavior and what's actually driving that that habit, if we're not clear on that, then that's when self-sabotage can kick in. That's when that yo-yo behavior happens of like, maybe you do brilliantly one day and then the next day everything goes out the window, and then the next day perhaps you get back on it, and then the next day you forget or you don't do it. That's when that can happen. And obviously, if there are any beliefs within the unconscious mind that are in contradiction to whatever that goal is, or that resolution, or that new habit that you want to have. So it's important to know what's driving that, what's underneath. Now, the thing I want to talk about is something that perhaps not many people are talking about, that often there can be a lot of pressure this time of year, like, oh, I need to do new things. I need to set a resolution. I need to do this. I need to do that. Or other people are doing this. And this was something that when I was in the forest this weekend, those of you who know, I have a weekly silent disco group in the forest, and every Sunday I'm there, and we have a lovely group, and we dance and we connect. And this weekend in the forest, that something came to my awareness, and I was like, okay, yes, this is something that I've known before, though it just became so clear when I was in the forest, and I was like, okay, yeah, why are we forcing things? Why are we rushing? Like, why are we in this go, 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 do energy that so much of humanity's in, and we're so disconnected from nature? Now, this is a thing, like after the silent disco, after the dancing, often what we do is we come together in a circle and we have a moment of silence, and we just sit there and we just hear the sounds of the forest. Now, I've been doing this virtually every week for 3 years. I know this forest inside out. It's a place that it feels like home. It literally feels like home, this forest. And I know the bird song there. I've heard all the sounds there, the wind, the wind in the trees, and obviously there's many more things that I haven't heard, but I know it well. And this Sunday, when I was there, and I was sat there in silence, and I was hearing everything but nature. I was hearing the cat, like all of the cars going past. I was hearing the train going past. I was hearing all of these other sounds, but nature. There was almost no sound from nature at all. It was like complete silence. And that's when it came to my awareness. I was like, yes, of course. Like, nature is hibernating right now. Nature's resting. So much of nature is like with that energy of going inwards and taking this opportunity of winter. Obviously, this is within the northern hemisphere. That opportunity of winter to go inwards and to just really be and rest and nourish ourselves and ease into the year slowly. So if you've been feeling a bit sluggish, if you've been feeling a bit slow, if you've been feeling a bit like there's some resistance in getting back into things and getting back into the all of the activity after the festive break, if you've been feeling some resistance there, if you've been feeling extra sleepy, that you feel that you need to rest more, obviously there can be many reasons for that, though just consider for a moment, like if some of that, if not a vast majority of that, could be just simply because of the time of year, and that we are nature. We are nature. We're not separate from nature. We are nature. So when the rest of nature is going inwards and having that time of rest, then it can be really useful to have that also ourselves, to have this time of going inwards, this time of just having little moments where you can just slow down, have a cup of tea. There's my British side coming out. Have a cup of tea, take a moment to sit there, like connect with your breath, like just slow down for a moment. And of course, this doesn't mean to say like we give up all responsibilities and we don't go back to work, or we don't do things like if we've got children, or that there are things to tend to. That's how can we bring that intention and that awareness and that presence to those little moments in daily life. I call them mini retreats. This is something I often bring up with busy mothers. I work with a lot of mothers and mothers who are so busy that they've literally got a million things to do. It's like, how can you bring in these little mini retreats throughout the day, just like a couple of seconds, just to really be present with that exhale. That's a mini retreat right there. So it's like all these little things, or like going to bed and like allowing your body to rest, or allowing your body to feel the warmth as well, to really, obviously this is generally speaking, and it really depends where you're living and where you are in the world and what's happening. That I'm speaking mainly to the northern hemisphere that is in the winter period, and perhaps the weather's a little cooler as well. And something that I posted recently on Instagram, that if you're not following me on Instagram, go on Instagram if you're there, because I post many more things and updates on there, Emma Bradford 5, so you can find me there. Also on the Telegram channel as well. The links are in the description. And I posted recently talking about warmth. Like there was a post that I shared, and that often this is a thing, like we go along with what other people are doing, or we go along with what other people suggest, or what society is doing, or what many of the people in our environment are doing. And in the health and wellness field, especially the biohacking field, there's a lot of focus on ice baths and cold showers. And whilst these can be really beneficial for health and well-being, and they can be really great, those of you who have cycles, monthly cycles, those of you who identify yourself as a woman and have those monthly cycles as well, just bear in mind when that feels good and when that doesn't feel good. So this is the thing, it's like just really paying attention to that, because there are certain times of the month that ice cold baths and showers are not necessarily the best thing from the perspective of Chinese medicine, from the perspective of working with the energy meridians, from the energetic perspective. So I just put that out there as well. But this is the thing, like I just wanted to come on here today and just talk a little bit about, are we listening to our natural rhythm? Are we listening to nature? Are we taking in the wisdom from that? Are we taking in the wisdom from that and just really being gentle with ourselves, like gentle and really considering, okay, yeah, this is what's nourishing, this is not what's nourishing right now. And we can, when we pay attention, when we observe, we can find all these answers. We can get this wisdom, just like I did in the forest the other day, like hearing the sound of the cars and the trains more than any other sound of the forest. And I was right in the forest, and the cars and trains were far away. I was thinking, wow, like this is one of the first times in a long time that I haven't heard the bird song. Ah, that's why. They're all resting right now. And it's only us crazy humans that are getting back into things and rushing and doing and busy and really like stressing ourselves out and burning ourselves out. So it's, how can we come back to our natural rhythm? Are we paying attention to the rhythm of our body, our physical body? Are we listening? That's what it comes down to. Are we listening? Are we listening to ourselves? Are we listening to nature? Are we listening to life? Listening to life. Life is constantly communicating. And this is the thing, like often the wisdom, like so many people are searching out there for the magic pill or the latest therapy or the latest technique. And whilst there are many things out there that can help us come back to a state of alignment, most of the time it's simply just about listening to ourselves deeply and listening to life, because life is reflecting everything back to us. So perhaps it's not about having an ayahuasca ceremony. I mean, if you feel called to do that, by all means. Though, or maybe it's not about like getting the latest book or another card deck or whatever it is. Maybe it is simply just about sitting somewhere quietly, observing life, listening to yourself. If we're constantly distracting ourselves with our phones, with technology, with noise, like allowing all of this external noise to come in, like the sound of the cars and the trains that I was hearing in the forest, like if we're focused on that and all our attention is on that, we miss the wisdom of life, of the natural life, the natural rhythm. We miss the wisdom within as well. So I just wanted to share that as this little reminder, to go at your own pace, to enter into 2024 at your own pace, and to be gentle with yourself, kind to yourself, nourish yourself, tend to yourself, care for yourself as best as you can. And this is not about perfection. This is simply just about listening, and just taking little steps towards that connection with your body, with your heart, with your soul, listening. So I'd love to hear in the comment section, like, what are you hearing at the moment, like within and also within the natural life around you? What are you hearing? Like, what messages are coming forward for you? And perhaps there's something that's clear right now, or perhaps in a couple of days or a week, there'll be some insights that pop up for you. So I'd love to hear. And coming up, so in terms of events, if you're watching the replay, then perhaps these events have passed, but by all means, check out my website, because there'll be plenty of other things around that I'm doing, because there's many events coming up. So this week, at the time of this live, this Thursday, so Thursday the 18th of January, I will be back in Barcelona at Artemis Women's Health Centre, and we have the first Women's Circle of the year. And this is all about giving and receiving. This wonderful, very important topic, especially for women, all about giving and receiving. So I will be in Barcelona. If you're interested in that, then you can send me a message. You can send me a WhatsApp at +34 6226 986 73. Or everything's on my Instagram, on Telegram as well. I put everything there. So this will be a really beautiful evening where we gather with women, and there'll be music and candlelight and drinks and snacks. And I will also be sharing some embodiment practices and also some guided NLP visualizations. So it's a really wonderful time with these visualizations, that we start balancing out the conscious and the unconscious mind, and we create a little bit more balance and harmony within, and all about the topic of giving and receiving. So this is a really wonderful opportunity. And if you reserve in advance, then it's only 15 euros. Usually it's 20 euros. So you can get in contact. If you're not a woman and you're looking for support and you want to know about different events that I'm doing, I have something else that's open to anyone in the area, or if you want to come along. So in Vilanova i Geltrú, so not in Barcelona, but just a short train ride outside of Barcelona, on the 26th, so Friday the 26th, there will be the first dance session of the year, and this will be a wonderful combination of movement and also numerology. So this is like one of my favorite topics. It's like bringing the two together. It's like, how can we understand the wisdom and the power of numerology and numbers? So this is the sacred science of numbers, thanks to Pythagoras. So this is like ancient art. How can we learn a little bit more about that through dance and through movement? So this is a really wonderful combination, and a combination that many people have not really experienced. Like, this is something that I've been developing as I've been exploring these different topics, and bringing them two together can be really powerful. So on Friday the 26th, that's coming up. If you're interested in that, then get in touch. And this is open to anyone that wants to join. And if you're not in the area, if you're elsewhere, if you're in another country, then you have these lives. So every week, every Monday at 7, I will be here, and I'd love to hear the topics that you want me to cover. So last year I covered a huge amount of topics, and obviously my area of expertise is all about confidence, reducing anxiety, coming back to calm, like transforming our relationship with the inner critic, all of those things. Though if there's any particular topic that you really want for me to cover and you want me to talk about, then pop it in the comments section. I'd love to know, and this will be something that I can cover in the future classes. So every Monday at 7, and I will be here. And it's so lovely to make this an interactive experience rather than just me talking at a camera. So it's nice to have people joining and to have you here, and like, feel free, ask away, and even after the replays, like once I finish the live and the replays up, you can still pop questions in the comments section. So I'll be back again next Monday at 7 and with more. And yeah, so I wish you a wonderful entry into 2024, like whatever you want this year to be about for you. I wish you the very best with this, and there's so many things that can help support us as we go into this year. This year is going to be a very potent year, and if you haven't watched the previous lives that I did at the end of last year, then go back and watch those, because I was talking about, in terms of numerology, like what's coming up for 2024 and for you personally. So that's an interesting one to look at. I will link it in the description once I finish this live. But essentially, this is a year, 2024, in terms of numerology, this is the year for really reclaiming your power, stepping into your power, and also getting your money, getting your finances in order, and doing what you need to do to sort that out as well. So it's all about reclaiming and also like manifesting like what it is that you want, what you want to bring into your life, and really focusing on what you want, not what you don't want. So it's coming back to, okay, yeah, this is what I want. So coming back to that. But you can make it whatever year you want to make it. And of course, life will bring experiences. Sometimes those are easy, sometimes can be challenging. That's part of life. It's all about what you make of it. And here you have these weekly classes to have a little bit of extra support along the way. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. I will see you again next week at Monday at 7, or at one of the events. So wishing you much love, and may 2024 be one of the best years for you.